Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Matt Diazwell coming at you with a new album review. Thanks for coming on by. Today, I am checking out this band called SemiRotted with their newest album, Barrage of Brutality. SemiRotted is a death metal band based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Their lead singer is the ex-drummer of Five Finger Death Punch, and this is their debut album. Not much is known about this band, but they are here to play extreme heavy death metal music that's got a bit of a groove to it. So let's get into this review. Get ready for a barrage of repetitive styles and a few moments of originality on this debut from SemiRotted. The biggest problem with this band is that they suffer from using the same song structure over and over on this album, and it gets really old quite fast. The songs on this album all kind of follow the same pattern, and that is, it starts off with some slow, heavy drums that are very groovy, and then you get some really muffled vocals, and then you get a very mid to okay verse, and then you get a chorus talking about smashing your head in or hurting you in some way, and he repeats that over and over and over. Then you go back into an okay verse, and then we move along into a guitar solo, and then the song kind of ends. That's pretty much the song structure for about 60 to 70% of the songs here. Some songs that follow this pattern are Bloodbath, Eye Incision, and Slay the Decayed. They're all about the similar style and structure here. So I want to play a clip of Eye Incision so you can get a sense of what most of the songs sound like.
What is covered all your clothes? Let us start saving your breath. You were real close to death. Rusty waves, fresh disease. It starts to turn gangrene. Your eye begins to rot.
Most of the songs sound like this. They might switch things up by having a shorter guitar solo or moving the guitar solo up to the front or, rearranging a little bit, but most of the songs all kind of sound the same. At first, when you're listening to this album, the song structures, they don't really bother you. You're kind of like, okay, it's fine and dandy. But by the end, you're just hearing the same thing over and over. So it makes it really hard to get through the album, even though it's kind of short. Majority of the album, he sounds really muffled on the vocals. It sounds like he's really straining himself to try and do these hard vocals. There's only one song on here where he kind of sounds okay and he goes more of a lower register. So I think if he does more of these deep vocals, he might sound better when he's just trying to do these mid-level to higher vocals. So I want to play a clip of Deader Than Dead so you can get a sense of some decent vocals from him.
Starting to think you're almost out of time. Chunks of flesh are missing from your face. You can't wait to die. Maggots crawling towards the mother of your living, choking up for time. Breathing slow to breathing out your eyes. You begin to rot.
Not that bad, right? The band doesn't sound that bad half the time, but when they do sound bad, it's because they're just repeating themselves in terms of their style. But when they try and make things a little bit interesting, the drums, for instance, they can sound really groovy and have kind of a punchy feel to it. Like on the songs Torture Congregation or Hammer Teeth, the drums have a really heavy and legit sound of a death metal band at times. So, but like I said, they kind of get stuck in their similar pattern styles a little bit, playing the same thing over and over. So it can get a little redundant. But on Hammer Teeth, he sounds pretty good there with his drumming style, so I'll play a clip of that for you. I think with the use of the cymbals and some fun little different hitting of the drum heads makes it sound a little bit more unique. The bass playing might be the only thing on this album that doesn't really sound too bad because it doesn't really sound very repetitive, and it kind of helps the drums sound a little bit thicker. They're not doing anything wrong. Unlike the guitars, which they sound pretty good, they're ripping really hard, but their overuse of guitar solos, by the end of the album, it just is really annoying every time you hear a guitar solo. And the production on this album could use some work because it feels like at times the way that it was mixed and mastered, it sounds a little bit too, I want to say, stock. It feels like they're using a template when it comes to recording and writing some of their songs, because they're very repetitive what they're making and playing here, but also it lacks a little bit of uniqueness to it. There's no grit or griminess to it. It's almost it's just too clean with how they're playing at times, and so it feels like, I won't say AI generated, but it feels like it's too digital at times and too stock template, I guess you could say. And also the vocals, they definitely need to be worked on because half the time it's really hard to hear him. So a lot of issues in the production department with this band. So with this band and this album, I'm really surprised that I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to, because the guy's previous work was Psychosexual and Five Finger Death Punch. Not my cup of tea and everything, but it just suffers from a lot of repetition and some poor production choices. But I think those could be easily fixed if they, switch it up a little bit more, introduce some more elements, him doing more deeper vocal styles. This could be somewhat of a decent band. It's just kind of, you know, redundant with a lot of the playing here and kind of by the books at times and really tough and bad production. So I would say this new album from SemiRotted, like two decent. It was a fun album to listen to at least a bit at times. 6 out of 10. Yeah. Links down below. Check them out. Tell me what you think about this album. And like always, guys, I will see you later and see you in the pit.